Hi guys, let's get more news about Warriors, but first don't forget to subscribe and leave your like. Renowned doctor gives update Warriors fans must hear on Stephen Curry. The Golden State Warriors finally got the better of the Washington Wizards on Saturday night, overcoming a 10.2 half deficit to record a 122-114 victory at Chase Center. The win didn't come without a cost for the Warriors though, with a pair of concerning injuries to veteran stars Draymond Green and Stephen Curry that could only impact an already depleted squad that's missing Jonathan Kuminga, Brandon Podmski and Kyle Anderson. While Green left the game in the opening 3 minutes with calf tightness, it wasn't until the final 90 seconds where Curry suffered an ankle injury following a stout defensive play on former teammate Jordan P. Curry left for the locker room as the Warriors closed out an 8-point victory, with head coach Steve Kerr revealing in the post-game press conference that the 2x MVP doesn't believe their injury is serious. When asked about the injury, Curry responded, "Feels great. See you on Monday." The Warriors will play the reigning champion Boston Celtics in what will be their second of an 8-and-end game stretch on their home floor. Steph Curry's brief post-game quote while icing up, "Feels great. See you on Monday. Warriors vs Celtics on TNT on Monday." But it's fair to say Curry might be taking an ultra-optimistic approach to ease concerns with any injury for the franchise star, understandably raising anxiety, particularly when it appears a regrowth of an issue from earlier in the season. Renowned Dr. Brian Sutra provided an in-depth breakdown of the injury, which you can see here, but most importantly for fans is the expected timeline for the 36-year-old. Hopefully for the best here, we don't see any more than maybe a few days up to a week or so. It sounds like he's not going to need an MRI from after the press conference, but we'll see how much pain and swelling develops into tomorrow and the next day. Suter summarized that would suggest it unlikely why that Curry would be available for Monday's game, with the franchise surely taking no risks. Despite growing urgency to turn around their season, Golden State will then travel to Sacramento to face the Kings on Wednesday before returning home to close out their week against the Chicago Bulls and Los Angeles Lakers. Perhaps Sutter's summation suggests that Curry could be out for up to 4 games as a worst possible result, but more will be known all in the next 24 hours. The 10 All-Star had 26 points, 5 rebounds and 6 assists in 34 minutes prior to the injury. The rebuilding Brooklyn Nets have pulled off their second notable trade in the past fortnight, having previously dealt Dennis Schroeder to the Golden State Warriors earlier in the month. Veteran forward Dorian Finn is on his way to the Los Angeles Lakers along with 7-year guard Shake Milton. Former Warrior D'Angelo Russell is headed back to the Nets, with Brooklyn also acquiring Maxwell Lewis and 3 second-round picks. Exposed Warriors roster issue could have huge trade ramifications. The Golden State Warriors are set to remain active on the trade market over the coming weeks, leaving the futures of some current players under serious question marks leading up to the February 6th deadline. 2 of those players are veteran duo Gary Payton II and Kevin Looney, both of who are on expiring contracts and make a combined $17.1 million. That makes the championship obvious trade candidates in salary matching situations, particularly if the Warriors wish to acquire a $20 million player like Nikola Vujic. One of Golden State's biggest issues over the past 18 months has been a lack of hierarchy on the roster. While they've had a lot of depth for Steve Kerr to utilize, that's also caused headaches in terms of the rotation and who to play in what combinations. Those same problems could now extend to general manager Mike D'Antoni, particularly after Saturday's 122-114 win over the Washington Wizards after falling behind by 10 early in the third quarter. Both Payton and Looney played rolls down the stretch of the 8-point win. Payton and Looney each played over 7 minutes in the fourth quarter, with the former taking a direct matchup on Jordan P., who shot just 2 of 5 in the final period. Despite going for 38 points in the game, Looney had 10 points, 13 rebounds, 5 offensive, 2 blocks and was a plus 13 in nearly 24 minutes, while Payton finished with 10 points, 2 rebounds, 2 assists and was a plus 11 in 19 minutes. While it's easy to speculate that the pair will be candidates to be moved before the deadline and that they can subsequently be thrown freely into the trade machine. It won't be that easy in reality for Dunleavy and the front office. Not only are Peyton and Looney forever edged into franchise history as championship players who bring a lot from a culture and locker room standpoint, but Saturday night proved they're still valuable rotation players capable of filling big fourth quarter minutes. It would be far easier to move on from them if Golden State had a set top 8 in the rotation that they were outside of. Instead, Peyton and Looney are among over half the roster who are battling for their share of minutes in Steve Kerr's lineups. On the other hand, perhaps moving on Peyton and or Looney is the sort of ruthless decision the Warriors need to try and resuscitate their mediocre season. Warriors could trade for uber-efficient Mavericks center. The Warriors are reportedly linked to Dallas Mavericks center Daniel Gafford and have the pieces that the Mavericks are seeking in a potential deal. Ponick Bowes of the Times of India. The Golden State Warriors are reportedly exploring trade options to address their struggles this season, with Dallas Mavericks center Daniel Gafford emerging as a potential target. Bod wrote a potential trade could see Golden State offering assets to secure Daniel Gafford's services. One of the key pieces in such a deal might be Gary Payton II, who has built his career as one of the NBA's most versatile defenders with his ability to guard multiple positions. Payton II remains a valuable asset for any team seeking defensive improvement. Gafford is averaging 11.7 points per game on wing, 70.5% shooting from the field. He's adding 6 rebounds a night for the Mavericks. This marks the third straight season and fourth for his career in which the Arkansas native has shot north of 70% from the floor in 6 years in the NBA. Gafford has never converted lower than 68% of his shot attempts. He could also bring strong rim running and interior defense to the Warriors, exemplified by his 1.5 blocks per game for the 2020-42 campaign and his career. Dallas would get one of the better on-ball defenders in basketball by acquiring Payton II. While he's been an integral part of Golden State's MO for the better part of the last 5 campaigns, the Warriors have an abundance of guards in their lineup behind Luka Doncic and Kyrie Irving. He could create a championship-level defensive culture for their ball club. The Warriors could also afford to part ways with Bodzki given his inability to take the next sweet this season. Gafford may not be the most athletic big man in the game, but his ability to finish lobs, operate out of the dunker spot, convert hook shots in the post and man the middle could give the Dubs a needed edge down low. And you fan, what do you think of the situation of Daniel Gafford? Leave your opinion in the comments.